y'all, this is Matt. Today we're going to talk about the front rack reverse lunge. So when programming lunges, I'll use a variety of them: overhead, walking, reverse lunge. There's a variety of ways we can lunge. So why the front rack? Why the reverse? Why not a walking lunge? What if another lunge is easier? And at the end of the day, which lunge do I choose for my workout? Keep in mind though, throughout this entire discussion, the number one thing to keep in mind is safety. So safety is always first. Make sure whatever lunge variation you choose works for your knee, and you need to make sure that your knee is tracking over your toe and you have stability in the hip, knee, and ankle, or you need to scale back to something like a squat to make sure it's a good fundamental movement. Secondly, if you can't tap the ground with your knee, if it winds up banging into the floor pretty hard, then you need to stop doing that lunge or lighten the load so that you can control the movement all the way down and all the way up. So I'm going to demo a few front rack lunges, and I'm going to go through these questions so that you can figure out which lunge is going to be best for your workout. So first and foremost, a front rack lunge requires a steady front rack position. If you are stuck holding a bar like this, you need to go ahead and scale to a goblet lunge. It is just as effective without having instability throughout your entire upper body. So front rack, make sure you're nice and tight. What I love about the front rack is the demands on the core. If you put it in the back, it really allows you to kind of use your back and hunch over and lean forward a little bit more. But when you put it in that front rack, you're really demanding that your torso stay upright, and you have to use your stabilizers, aka the core, in order to make that happen. So we're going to step directly behind us so that we see a nice right angle with our knee towards the floor. And then we're going to return back to the same position and alternate feet. So, why the front rack? Core stability creates a much better lunge. Why the reverse step? For a lot of people, especially with weight, it might be a little bit difficult to find the right foot placement going forward, and then all of a sudden have to take on the burden and the load of this weight. With a reverse step, it allows you to find the right position while still having good stability. You can find that good foot position and finally get back into that lunge and return. Why not a walking lunge? Generally speaking, the walking lunge is going to be a lighter weight or some sort of a workout where you have a goal to start in a position and end in a position. Secondly, on the walking lunge, it's really easy to have to create the bad habit of rolling onto your front foot, putting a lot of stress on that kneecap, and then rolling and collapsing your chest going forward. So that's another reason why I don't really like the front or the walking lunge as much. Same thing stepping forward. When you step forward, you're really creating a lot of force in that front leg all at once, plus the stability. It's not quite as easy for a lot of people to master. But again, if you can make it, if it's safer for your knee, if you feel more confident, then you can use it. So what if a lunge that's programmed? What if I have an easier version of a lunge that I would rather do for a workout? Unless the movement is unsafe for you, easier is not something that I want you to scale to unless you need it. So if it's written as a reverse lunge, but you like the walking lunge better, or vice versa, then stick with the one programmed if safety is not an issue, because that's what we want you to get better at. Which lunge to choose on any given day? If you could do all the lunges, if they all work for your body, you can complete them all with good form, then choose the one that's written, choose the one that's programmed. If you don't have good stability, if you're still working on your lunge, if one of them is a little bit more difficult than the other, if you're scaling back and forth, then find the lunge that produces the best movement pattern, and that's something that you can work with your coach to make sure you have. So we want stability in that hip, knee, and ankle. We want good posture, good form. So in scaling, choose the lunge that satisfies most or all of those qualifications and put in quality repetitions. At the end of the day, it's all about quality, not quantity. So choose the lunge that works best for you and continue to get better.